Sometimes real horror doesn't lurk in dark alleyways, but behind something far more ordinary. A friendly smile, and not just any smile. A painted-on grin, forced, exaggerated, unnaturally cheerful. The smile of a clown. It all started with the disappearance of an ordinary teenager, Robert Piest. What seemed like just another missing persons case was actually the tip of something much deeper. Something that had been buried for years. Literally. Our story takes us to Norwood Park, a quiet neighborhood on the northwest side of Chicago. That's where John Wayne Gacy lived, a friendly guy, known by neighbors as helpful, outgoing, even fun. The kind of person who threw backyard barbecues, joined community campaigns, and always stopped to chat when passing by. And there was something else. He dressed up as a clown for kids' parties. His character, Pogo, was a bit of a local celebrity. To the neighborhood, Gacy seemed like the model citizen. But behind the makeup, the wig, and the fake laughters was something straight out of a nightmare. John was born in 1942. From a young age, life was a constant struggle. His father, strict and a heavy drinker, never missed a chance to tear him down. He mocked John's soft voice, his body, his lack of athletic ability.
"You act like a girl,"
he'd say, and all John wanted was his approval. At 6, something traumatic happened, something he never spoke about. It shattered something inside him, and silence became his safe space. School wasn't any better. Health issues kept him from playing sports, and classmates bullied him. At 11, a head injury left him with migraines and frequent blackouts. Isolation, frustration, feeling misunderstood. It all built up like a pressure cooker. At 18, Gacy moved to Las Vegas. He got a job at a funeral home, where he spent long nights alone with the bodies he was supposed to prepare. Something started to stir inside him, something he couldn't name. But that disturbed him. Later, he returned, got married, had kids, and began working for his father-in-law, managing restaurants. But what looked like a normal life was far from it. Gacy charmed young male employees, manipulated them, and constantly tried to control those around him.
You're a man of some authority here. What is your title?
Well, I'm first cook in the kitchen, and I run the morning meal and the afternoon meal in the kitchen.
John, how long have you been here?
I've been here now a year and about 2 weeks.
When rumors started spreading, he decided to reinvent himself. He joined charity groups, became vice president of the JCs, made donations. He looked like the perfect neighbor. But in 1968, the mask slipped. A teenage boy reported him, and he was arrested. Diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, he was sentenced to 10 years, but only served 18 months. Once out, his wife left him. Gacy returned to Chicago and bought a house. No one seemed to remember his past, and he started over. His new persona was even more convincing. A successful businessman, local event host, and yes, He still performed as Pogo the Clown. He also began recruiting young men to work for him. The first was Timothy McCoy, only 16. Gacy offered him a place to stay for the night. By morning, something had shifted. Later, Gacy claimed he felt a mix of panic and aggression. Timothy became his first victim, and from that moment, there was no turning back. His house became a trap, a perfect facade, hiding a terrible secret beneath the floor. Neighbors started noticing strange smells. He blamed plumbing issues, but the truth was far darker. Between 1972 and 1978, dozens of young men vanished. Some worked for him. Others were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. In 1976 alone, it's believed Gacy took 12 lives. And then, he'd return to his routine as if nothing happened, put on the costume, smile, and carry on. On December 11th, 1978, Gacy offered a job to 15-year-old Robert Peast. They met at a local pharmacy. Robert told his mom he'd be back in a few minutes, but he never came home. Worried, his mother went to the police. The investigation began immediately, and whose name kept coming up? John Wayne Gacy. Police got a search warrant. Inside his home, they found odd items, handcuffs, fake IDs, children's clothing, but no sign of Robert. A trained dog sniffed Gacy's car and picked up the scent of the missing teen. From then on, Gacy was under constant surveillance. They pressured him, cornered him, until one day, he cracked. He confessed to his lawyers he had buried nearly 30 bodies in his house. And Robert, he said he dumped him in a river. On December 21st, police returned. This time they dug beneath the house. One by one, the remains began to surface. First one, then another, and another. 29 in total. Underneath that average-looking home lay a hidden graveyard. Gacy tried to defend himself, claiming multiple personalities, lack of control, insanity. But the evidence was overwhelming. He planned, he acted, he covered it up. He was found guilty of 33 counts. Sentenced to death. On May 10th, 1994, the sentence was carried out. He never apologized, never said if there were more victims. His brain was studied, but nothing unusual was found. Maybe evil doesn't always leave visible marks. The case of John Wayne Gacy is one of those chilling stories that remind us danger doesn't always come with a scary face. Sometimes it wears a red nose, a wig, and oversized shoes. Sometimes you see it walking down the street, it smiles at you, and you smile back without knowing who they really are. So, do you think you'd recognize someone like that before it's too late? We want to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments.